Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and I appreciate the fact that you can't see the tops of my arms. I have no shoulders, but you have to take my word for it. I know you can't see it. I'm wearing a t-shirt that has camouflage sleeves. That's fine. It's fine. It's okay. My arms are still there. It's all good. It's all good. But anyway, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone doing today? How's things, babe? Captain
Yeah,
Golfer Extraordinaire.
I'm good, man. I'm knackered. Stayed up watching the golf this morning. Didn't get to watch it right to the end because I genuinely fell asleep on the sofa downstairs. So I don't actually know who won the first day yet or who's in the lead. It was Kepka when I fell asleep. Don't know if it still is now, but yeah, I am knackered, man.
For
What
those
a
of you
minute.
that missed it yesterday, Bib was Big Tings is what Bib Tings. That's what he was. He was playing the preview build of PGA Tour 2K21 live on Twitch. Thanks to 2K, they gave us exclusive access. So Bib was, well, I say exclusive, not exclusive just for us. Other people had access, but we were part of an exclusive collective. Let's put it that way. So yeah, he played the tits off that yesterday, and as we've just put out with a tweet today, there will be no episode of Masters of the League today. So Masters of the League won't be following today's episode of the Scoop because we're going to play a bit more 2K21. The preview build access finishes today. So Bib's going to get an extra stream in that, and a little bird tells me. I mean, don't go telling anyone else because we don't want people to know. But I think we might just have a Twitch front page on that. Just saying, just whatever, just
Maybe. Who knows? Who
just
knows? You'll have to find out, won't
exactly. But what a day we had yesterday. For those of you that may not have been here, a tweet that we put out last night kind of summarized where we got to in one day. So we got a new brand partner in. You can see the mountain chips there and the drinks in the fridge. Muscle Moose! Exclamation mark Muscle Moose in the chat if you want to find out a little bit more about that and you want to get yourself an exclusive discount code. Feel free to do that. So we have a new brand partner. So that was the first stream of the day in the Scoop. We announced that. In the second stream of the day, PUBG, I managed to get a chicken dinner and dance my ass off. And then in the
they?
third stream of the day, Bib plays a game that not everyone has access to. We got invited to special access via 2K. So all of that in a day. And then at the end, we get confirmation that we will be on the front page of Twitch today as well. So big things for Ice Cream Uploads yesterday. So yeah. Thank you very much to everyone that's been in the chat, in the streams, that's followed, that's like interacted with our tweets, that's subscribed and all of that stuff. And also a big shout out to all the people that have used our Muscle Moose discount code as well. Bib mentioned it a few times on the stream yesterday. We don't get any kickbacks from that, so there's no financial benefits for us from that. It's just a business that's makes really good products, saying that without being paid to say that, and they're really local to us. And the fact that they gave us a discount code for our community, so we can all celebrate that together, is really good. And there's a few people have celebrated the fact that we have a brand partner, and they have already gone through and purchased some things, including I know Ads Plays has jumped in. Arms of Atlas asked for a discount code on social media yesterday, and there's been a few other people as well. So thank you very much, everyone that has been supporting Ice Cream. It's big things. And as Shogun says, levels in the chat. Absolutely. To use Shogun's words, Ice Cream. Levels, mate. Levels. Am I in shot? Oh no, that's a different phrase. Sorry. Morning show. Morning. But for everyone else that doesn't know, obviously we just talked through a lot of stuff yesterday. New brand partners, front page on Twitch, exclusive access to games, chicken dinners, and all of that stuff. And that all comes from the fact that we are Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham. This is Bib, and this is the Scoop, your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. And some us may say this is the UK's #1 video game podcast, and we wouldn't argue with that. We're going to give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest stories from the world of video games, and we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. We want to create a conversation, a debate, and it's important that you do, because this live stream, we are live right now on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, gets turned into a YouTube video and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if you were in the chat, start the debate, get involved on behalf of all of those watching and listening on demand that can't get involved in the chat right now. Before we jump in, though, a couple of little bits of housekeeping. Obviously, exclamation mark Muscle Moose. I'm going to type it in the chat for you. The chat bot should be open. Muscle Moose. Whoop, there we go. 25% off using the code IceCream25. That's our new brand partner. But if you don't have any money, which is understandable, lockdown, you might not have the ability to go out and spend a little bit of cash on yourself for a few nice things. That's understandable. A discount code is only useful if you've got the money to spend in the first place. But you know what? There's something that you can get involved with if you don't have a discount code. Exclamation mark giveaway gives you a link to our pinned tweet on Twitter, and we are giving away a retro gaming console. We backed Evercade Retro Console on Kickstarter twice. So we have one of the consoles for ourselves, and we have another one that we decided to give away to our community as well. So exclamation mark giveaway will give you access to that. But anyway, we won't hang around too long because, as mentioned, Bib has the final access, the final build. Oh my god, the final stream of the early build that we have access to. There we go. So I've said the final build, the final access, no, the final stream of the build that we have access to. There we go. So yeah, the final stream of that is coming up. As well as that, there is a lot of news because yesterday was State of Play again. Kelly32, hola. Hey, good morning. Welcome into the stream. How are you doing? Welcome in. So yeah, let's jump straight into the news. Did anyone in the chat watch State of Play yesterday? Actually, let me jump into the split screen so we can see a bit more of it as well. Whoa. Streamlabs kind of like
to this morning because my hair is all over the gaff.
That's beautiful.
I'm going to sort that out. I can't wear a hat today. I was so warm in here, and it's already 1 billion degrees. The sun is at the front of the house at the moment, so it's coming in. So this room in the morning is just like a sauna. I need a fan.
I'm your fan. I don't know. You said that it cut out. Just went. Spanish. Oh, hola. Hey. Buenos dias. If someone responds when I say buenos dias, I don't know what else that means, so I'll just say buenos dias, and then let's leave it there.
Is that goodbye?
No, buenos dias is good day. As in, hello, how are you doing? Or something like that. And buenos noches is good night or something like that. I don't know. I'd never actually got to learn Spanish. I only know this from like the trips to the new camp for PES for Barcelona, learning like the bare minimal kind of stuff. So I like to like say if we're getting on a bus or a shuttle or a taxi or something, going hola, buenos dias, and then they say something back, and I'm like, don't know what that means.
Something Starbucks.
Yes. 2 Starbucks, por favor, mate. Is por favor even Spanish? I don't know. Asim says nice t-shirt.
Guy was picking up on certain words that just say like por favor. Everything else is just complete gibberish.
Buenos noches, Spain via Salford. No, it's actually Kinder Buenos noches. Buenos noches, actually, mate. Buenos. No, anyway, back into the room.
Morning, Asim.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. T. He says nice t-shirt. Shout out to Asim. This we got access to this via Asim. I mean, you're only seeing me. It looks like I'm wearing a vest to you. There is actually sleeves, but because it's camo. Oh yes, there we go. Thank you very much for the raid, Mr. Tharian Drake. How is everyone been doing? What have we been playing? What is this swaggy swag? Oh, this is it's actually been sat. I have a large collector's box just under the desk there, which was the launch pack for Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts, and I was in the box yesterday. That's what they said. Because I was looking for. Well, I'll show you as well. I was looking for this. So in the Sniper Ghost Warrior influencer box, there is like I don't know what's the actual name for them like neck socks. It's Snood, that's it, there we go. So I've got Sniper Ghost Warrior contract Snood because I thought, oh, well, do you know, I can wear that supermarket in. Yeah, it's a bit better than that, just a duff medical mask. And then I saw the t-shirt and I thought, do you know, I've never actually worn the t-shirt. I'm going to wear that today. So yeah. So that's what it is. It's Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts t-shirt. But Duck, welcome in. Thank you very much for being here. Hola, buenos dias, senor. Hola, buenos dias, senor. That's how a man from from Yorkshire should say it. But
is that good morning, sir?
Yes, senor.
See what I mean? Learning on the fly.
Absolute fluency on here. Welcome to Languages with Ice Cream Uploads.
Your first lesson.
Morning, gents. Tito. No entiendo inglés. Does that say you don't speak English? You I know that's English, but I don't know what entiendo means. Nintendo English. I'll have a PlayStation if you're offering. He doesn't speak English. Okay. Well, you speak better English than I speak Spanish. That's almost definite. I'm from Argentina. Hey, it's a lovely place. So went to what's it called now? Buenos Aires. Went to Buenos Aires December 2018. Got to go into Boca Juniors Stadium, which was amazing. Got onto the pitch thanks to Robbie Rom from the PES team, which is lovely. Got to hold the actual genuine fake Copa Libertadores trophy, genuine fake. So yeah. Anyway, distracted. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you very much once again, Tharian. Thank you very much for the raid, dude. Much appreciated.
Good, Dicame, Donde Esta El Cafe Heladeo por favor. Can you tell me where the iced coffee is, please, mate?
I was chuckling more at the absolute Spanish bib pronunciation.
Yep, that's me.
Anyway, the news we were about to jump in. Obviously, last night's biggest bit of news was Sony had another State of Play showcase. That is what we're leading with. So there we go. Let's jump in straight into the article written by Wesley Yin-Poole for Eurogamer. This article gives us a run through of everything that was included in State of Play, which is good because I didn't watch any of it last night. I just had a kind of a complete phased out night last night, which is good after everything that we got through yesterday on Ice Cream Uploads. So let's jump in. Crash 4, Spelunky 2, Godfall, and more, says the tagline, and the article goes on to say, Sony just wrapped up its early August 2020 State of Play showcase, and here's everything the company revealed. The show kicked off with a decent look at Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time, Toys for Bob's lovely-looking platformer. The headline announcement is, Dingodile is a playable character, a first for the series. The new inverted mode looks cool too. Do you know? I'll hit play in it and mute it. Whoa, it's 5 minutes each. Okay, maybe we won't watch this. Because we'll all just be here all day. Okay, yeah. I've hit play. I'm going to stop play because it's just going to be a long old trailer as that. Then came the news that the entire Hitman trilogy will gain PlayStation VR support, including the upcoming Hitman 3. Our Ian Higton is very excited. So there's another trailer within there. We're not going to hit play on that. Brilliant time-bending puzzle platformer Braid is getting an anniversary edition with redrawn art and a developer commentary. Oh my god, I'll read that one again because I absolutely butchered that. Brilliant time-bending puzzle platformer Braid is getting an anniversary edition with redrawn art and a developer commentary. Spelunky 2 looks amazing and is due out on the 15th of September 2020. I haven't spoken to Don on that yet, but I imagine he's thrilled. And then the Control expansion 2 AWE or trailer. Is that something to do with Alan Wake?
Yeah.
Offered as a glimpse. Oh, there we go. Offered as a glimpse at a bearded Alan Wake. There you go. Vader Immortal, a Star Wars VR series, hits PlayStation VR on 25th of August. A droid doesn't understand why you never mentioned you have the Force. Aeon Must Die looks like a super cool cyberpunky fighting game, but well, drama is already developing around it. Interesting. HUD Outlaws and Legends is a new PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and PC multiplayer PvP heist game, PvP VE heist game due out in 2021. The Pedestrian is coming to PS4 in January 2021. Bug Snacks is out in time for Christmas 2020. Anno Mutationum is coming to PS4 in December 2020. The Pathless from the creators of Abzu is coming. We saw the PS5 during the showcase. Genshin Impact is an open world RPG, action RPG anime game that I don't understand at all. Nice. Auto Chess from the creators of the original Auto Chess mod that sparked the Auto Chess explosion of 2019 is coming to PS4. Temtem, the Pokemon style game that was a monster hit on Steam, is coming to PS5 in 2021. And finally, we got a good, long, hard look at Godfall, a fantasy action game due out on PC and PS5 later this year. So that is the list. Naturally, there is a hell of a lot to go through. Is there anything in particular that anyone would like us to have a quick look at that we can jump into? Obviously, having a look at Godfall is probably something that we kind of have to do, and the same thing with Control, and Vader Immortal. Okay, I'll start that. If there's anything anybody else does want to have a look at, let's have a go. Let's start with Control. We'll work our way down.
I know which two I want to look at.
I've
already seen one of them anyway.
Oh, and which are they?
So Vader Immortal, even though I don't have a PlayStation VR unit, looks amazing. I remember seeing a trailer for it a couple of months back, and now this one looks like it's bulked out a little bit more with a bit of the plot in there, rather than it just being Darth Vader swinging around his lightsaber.
Oh,
So
aye.
it looks like it's got a bit of a plot in there.
She's about to
And
enter the
then
Dreamcast room.
Hood and Outlaw Legends. Which one are we looking at here?
We are currently watching the Control Expansion 2 AWE trailer. And I'm going to blow my nose once.
So how many people actually played Control? That's in the chat. But this is the second expansion. It's good that they keep on supporting it still. Don't know what you're talking about, mate. Are you still muted?
No. It's a good job, to be fair. What I was saying was I was trying to say Mediterranean meal, whilst also merging the two words together. So I was going to say Mediterranean, but then I thought actually I'll give up. So it was muted. You didn't have to go through it, and then I still made you go through it anyway. So you were welcome. You were welcome. Pro streamer right here. I mean, to be fair, if you've never muted yourself and then carried on talking, are you really a pro streamer? I mean, everyone has done it. So yeah. Thank you for the quick shouts though, by the way. Yeah, the annoying thing is Bibby doesn't even know because I don't have a mute all button because I mute it for the stream, but I don't mute it for Discord. So Bibby just thinks I'm still chatting away. So we could have a conversation. You just get to see me going, and Bibby's like, yeah, nice mate, yeah, coach, yeah, I probably agree. But yeah, who's played Control? I haven't myself. It's still on my list of massive list of games to play. But 505 games have absolutely smashed it. I mean, not that they came out of obscurity; they definitely are a big brand. But the end of this gen has definitely worked very well for 505 games. I mean, 505 make a set of course, don't they? As far as I'm aware. Assetto Corsa. Yeah, so 505 Assetto Corsa, there we go. Yeah, so 505 games. I mean, I say, mate, are they the publisher? I can't remember now. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, Assetto Corsa is a decent game. It's a big game for racing gamers, but obviously not something that's kind of transcended that. 505 have gone from making really good cult slash niche games, meaning that is not as a negative, but now making games that are huge. So obviously 505 brought us Control. 505 heavily involved with was it the PC port of
Halo.
Death Stranding as well.
I'm sure they've done Halo as well.
So yeah, I mean I'm not so. I didn't know about Halo, but if they do, that's even bigger. But yeah, it shows just how far they've come in one generation. So GG's. HyperX Podcast Pros equals light up when live. Doesn't mean I haven't still talked to my chat with myself muted. I mean, I have. You can just see the bottom of it. A blue Yeti, which has a dot when it shows you when it's on, and it flashes when it's off. But when I mute the stream, I'm using it via my Stream Deck. So I'm just muting the source within the stream, so I don't get a flash. I mean, I do have a button that's green on stream, on the screen when I'm live, but then it goes to like black when I'm not. So it's like the color's gone off it. But because there's so many other buttons around it, I don't notice. so yeah, it's easy. It's probably going to happen again a million times more, but it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, I mean, what is the general consensus? Did anybody watch last night's state of play? Because I mean, just looking through this list, this is for someone that hasn't seen it and hasn't seen through any of the trailers. So I'm literally watching through things for the first time with you guys now. So, I think the same thing applies to Bib as well. Excuse me. I mean, what is everyone's feeling? Because if I'm looking through this list, I was under the impression that there's going to be no big PS5 news, which is what they said. No big PS5 news doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be no PS5 news. It said no big news, which is kind of what you get at the end because there's Godfall in it, so it's still within there. but we've got Crash Bandicoot 4, Hitman 3, Braid, Spelunky 2, Control 2, Control Expansion 2, Vader Immortal, Aeon Must Die, HUD, The Pedestrian, Bug Snacks, Anno Multationum, The Pathless, Genshin Impact, Auto Chess, Temtem, and Godfall. That's 16 titles in there just for a 30-minute-ish, 30 to 40-minute trailer that was kind of like they took the steam out of it. They almost stole their old thunder by saying, "Don't expect too much," just trying to temper people's expectations. But there's still quite a bit in there. Crash Bandicoot 4, Hitman, obviously it's Spelunky for some people, Star Wars games, HUD, which obviously big one. I mean, the massive behemoth that is Bug Snacks. I mean, oof.
Well, the Godfall trailer went on for 9 minutes as well, so I don't actually know how long the conference was yesterday. But the gameplay trailer or the gameplay walkthrough that's in here was 9 minutes long. I don't know a lot of people was talking about that, but the most interesting thing for me, or one of the most interesting things, was Temtem coming to the PlayStation. Do you reckon that we're ever going to see a day that this is going to come to the Nintendo Switch, considering it is one of the, but if not the biggest competitor to the Pokemon brand?
I'm not sure. I mean, the fact that it's not coming to the PS4 makes me think either one of two things. It's either too heavy to sit on it's only coming to PS5, not coming to PS4. It's either too heavy to be made into a PS4 game, which I don't think that's the case. I think it's just a case of it's a small team. I think it's a small Spanish developer that's made Temtem. So it's even though it's competing and is essentially delivering a Pokemon game, it's still only an indie title. So I think it's probably not coming to PS4, not because it's too big and bloated for PS4. It's more a case of development-wise, that's just a resource that they don't necessarily have. So they're bringing it out on PS5. If it's not too bloated for the PS4, then it's probably something that can be scaled down to come out on the Switch. But like you say, the question isn't whether it would actually come to Switch because they want it to. It's whether Nintendo would block that with it being let's be honest and say it's absolutely the game that we all want Pokemon to be, that they've just ripped off the idea and just done it themselves. But rather than having Charmander, they've got Marchander, and rather than Pikachu, they've got Chikapoo and stuff like that. Chikapoo, I choose you.
Great DH gate names.
Wait for it.
Who's that Pokemon?
What?
It's Chikapoo. You couldn't hear it. I was playing the Who's That Pokemon theme tune.
All right. But yeah, I mean, the only person that I know that's put some heavy time into this, and correct me if I'm wrong for anyone else that's in the chat that's done it, and that is Shogun. I know he's played a lot of the Temtem game. So I'm interested to see his thoughts on this. Like, is there any room for expansion from their side? Like, is this just going to be a game that they're porting from Steam over to the PlayStation with nothing else to it? Like, how long does the game? Like, in fact, let me check that. How long to beat Temtem? So I want to see how long this game actually is, and if they've actually got more Temtems in the mix to be able to add them. 24 hours to be able to complete.
Interesting.
So interested, yeah, because I mean, if this is their first gen, they will obviously be looking at creating new Temtems to bring in for either the next expansion, or they just is Temtem going to be the game and the universe, and they just keep on adding DLCs to it, like Return of the Temtems or something like that. I don't know.
Return of the Temtems. Jumping back before we just jump into that quickly, I've seen, generally speaking, about State of Play, said it was decent PlayStation set expectations, some nice indie games, and cool PS4, PS5 game looks. See, that's the thing for me. I like that. Because I didn't watch it because obviously we had a busy enough day yesterday, which we've announced. New brand partner, front page of Twitch today. Been playing golf, which isn't out thanks to Mr. T. And I got chicken dinner. So yeah, yesterday we just kind of had we switched off last night, which is why we didn't watch it. But like, I didn't expect much from it because PlayStation kind of set the bar. By having that blog post on the PlayStation blog come out saying, look, don't go in expecting prices, don't go in expecting brand new news, and just go in and just enjoy it. And I think that meant that people didn't. The fact that we weren't talking about it, we weren't building the hype up for it, meant it just got to go out and be its own thing. So it's come out with there's a lot in there like I say, I mean, I'm going to gloss over it again. So, like the facts of these titles like Crash Bandicoot, Star Wars games, 1010, which is essentially Pokemon, Godfall, which is what they finished on. So that's their big sort of PS5 tie-in, and then some other things in there with like Braids and Spelunkies and so on. A bit of Hitman VR as well. So there's a lot within that. The fact it's not going to be console sellers in terms of it's not a The Last of Us level kind of game. It's not a Halo kind of level game. They've just kind of gone, okay, well, don't expect that. And I think that's just kind of like, I mean, without watching the trailers, I mean, you could absolutely rip me apart and go, no, they were all shit. So yes, they've got good stuff in there, but they were all. I don't have that knowledge because I've not seen it all the way through them. But just looking at the titles that they've released, have 16, I think it was 16 titles with that much variety, starting through Aeon Must Die, which is a cyberpunky fighting game, as it says, all the way through to Star Wars VR content, through to what was the other one that you wanted to watch? Hood, Hood Outlaws of Legends, the PvPvE. So yeah, there's all that, and then Temtem, which ties us nicely back into Shogun, who says it needs a fair bit of expansion, and they have a fair few things in their roadmap. Nice. I hope they can continue to deliver it. And do you know what? If they can't, I hope that this spurs Nintendo on to give us the Pokemon game that everyone has wanted for 20 years. They're playing the long game for Pokemon, which is good from profits and good from building a brand over years and stuff like that. But I mean, when you were at school, you wanted to see Ash Ketchum win the Pokemon League. I mean, you had children who were at school by the time he actually won the Pokemon League. That's how good Nintendo are at stretching things out. I remember fucking. I was in, I don't know, year 9-ish, something like that, and I used to have like an absolute trek to school because growing up in Yorkshire, there's only one school, and you have to catch the donkey to school and that. No, but I used to walk about an hour's walk to get to school by choice because we moved house and I wanted to stay at the same school. Anyway, long story. But on the way home, I used to walk past a retail park, and there was a Comet, which I don't even know exists anymore. And in Comet, like you go into those, like they've got those TVs areas where they've got like a couch and they've got all these different TVs, and there's always a big one in front of it with surround sound and stuff. And me and my mate Jamie would go down because we both walked home the same way, and we'd just sit on this couch and just put it on Sky One and watch the 4 p.m. episode of Pokemon that used to be on Sky One every day. And I remember thinking, this is fucking amazing. Sat there with my Pokemon cards in my hand, watching Pokemon on on a massive screen. It must have been easily 32-inch. I mean, I went to school about 1,000 years ago.
The biggest.
So yeah, I went to school about 1,000 years ago. That's why. I mean, I was still watching TV on a Game Boy when we got home. So yeah, but like watching it then, thinking I want Ash Ketchum to go all the way. I want to see him like fucking take on the Big Four or Elite Four or whatever they call it. Elite Four. That's it. I want to see him smash this, and then obviously it never did. And then he did it like last year or this year or whenever it was. Finally wins the Pokemon League. Spoilers. And like just finally catching some big Pokemon like Dragonite as well. Same thing with that. Took a bajillion years for that to happen. So Nintendo can stretch stuff out without giving you what you want. It's gonna happen, but not yet. Oh, but it's still no. So they've done that with that full like interactive online sort of like PvP VE sort of element. Temtem have done that already. So could them doing that finally give Nintendo that shove of, okay, we do have now a timeline, a deadline that we kind of have to work to because other people are losing patience and are doing this, and people are so they want to taste it so much that they're happy to taste it from somewhere else if you can't get it from us. So could that give them the bit of a shift? That would be nice. Then he lost to Richie in the quarters. I was fuming. I don't know who Richie is. One thing I started doing with these state of plays now is watching without comments on. Some of the gaming community disappoints me. Stuff like Skip and Yawn. It's almost like all they want is AAA games from established series and nothing new, different. Harsh on developers and many others that have worked so hard. Facepalm, says Asim. I agree. And the thing is, it's probably the best way to do it. Go full screen. I quite like theatre mode on Twitch. Not a lot of people use it, I don't think. Maybe they do. I don't know. I used it. Oh, no. Nice. Well, theatre mode is essentially almost full screen in your screen, but you keep Twitch chat on the side. But you don't have all of the navigation and stuff around it. A lot of people think, well, I might as well just keep it in window. It's fine. Okay, but it's fine. I like the theatre mode. Anyway, if I'm watching a a streamer, I'll happily have the theatre mode on if it's something that I'm keeping an eye on, because then I can actually read the chat if need be. If I'm working away and I've got a second or third screen, just full screen it. Job's good. But if it's a streamer, I'll have theatre mode. If it's a first party or a publisher or a developer of stature stature's a shit word. A big publisher, big developer, or a big first party release. I just don't bother, because streamers, even the biggest streamers, can have mods and admins, but chats can get out of control. Like if you were watching Lyric the other day playing Fall Guys, just a simple Fall Guys game, 35,000 people watching him. Only 35,000. I'm saying that like it's small, but only 35,000 people watching him. His chat flying by. There's no way you can really keep an eye on that. But when you're watching with 300,000 people, or however many it is on a state of play kind of thing, I don't know what last night, so it probably wouldn't have been that big, to be fair, because the stock was back as well. There is no way you can keep up with that, so they just don't bother. They try to put the chat into slow mode so people can't spam and such as that. They'll put on like swear filters, include like that'll get rid of racist terms. That'll get rid of the usual sort of curses. There we go. I couldn't think of the word. It's not the word I was going to go for, but yeah, basically, stop people from being dicks as much as possible. But you kind of just have to accept it, which is shit. How shit is that? We have to accept that you can't stop people from being cunts. That's it. That's the word we're looking for. You can't stop them being cunts. There is no cunt filter, which is, I mean, Twitch. I wouldn't.
The internet.
Yeah, exactly. Which is it's shit that we have to say that. Welcome to the internet. The only way you can stop it is to do what Twitter did, and have tweets that only set people can reply to, which is bullshit. Imagine getting to that point. That like, I mean, for something like PlayStation, there's not really any way you can do it. It's just you don't have anyone commenting apart from a select bunch of people. But then what's the point in that? It doesn't work in Twitch chat, so you just basically yeah.
One-sided conversations never work, do they?
Yeah, I mean, State of Play is kind of a one-sided conversation as well. The idea of the Twitch chat for that sort of stuff, it's like being in the cinema, but rather than in the cinema where everyone's going, shh, this is a cinema where you're encouraged to discuss it as you're going. It's a debate kind of thing, but people just don't do it. It's just a bunch of knobheads all sat there going, yeah, it's shit. It's not for me. It's not exactly what I want, so therefore it's crap. Skip. I mean, even Bug Snacks, which we all like to take the piss out of, has an audience. It might not be for you, and it might not be for a large number of us, but it has an audience. And even though it's not for us, some people will be interested in that kind of thing. Morning all, Chucky. Hey, welcome in, Chucky. Good
Morning,
day,
mate.
sir. How was the classic Pez going last night? How'd you get on? Did drop in to drop you a host. Me and Bib were actually fighting over who gave you the host, and it was me, so I like you more. Just saying. So yeah, there you go. And that's actually true. Bobby said, "Oh, Chucky's on." I was like, "Oh, we'll drop him a host." So Bib was like, "I'll drop him a host." I was like, "Oh, I'm in the middle of doing it." So I did it. Just saying. Bib didn't host you. I did. Anyway, but yeah, how'd you get on? Asim says, if the game comes out, you play it and don't enjoy it, cool. Give us a chance. Give stuff a chance. I agree. The same thing with Fall Guys getting like negative review bombed on Steam because people couldn't play it. That's not what it's about, you whelps. Anyway, Jenkins. All right, laugh. All right, darling. Skip. Yawn. Fuck you.
Motherfucker.
Hola, people. If someone comes to my chat trolling, he most likely gets trolled by my whole chat. I love that. And we kind of have the same sort of thing here. You want your chat to in an ideal world, your chat is supportive and gives you the G's up when you need it. Will also take the piss out of you when it's right too. You want your chat to feel like they can take the mick out of you, but feel like they've got you back. And the best time seeing that is when someone comes into your chat and goes, "Look at you, dickhead," and they either insult your physical appearance, which just means that they're fucking absolute weapons, or they take the piss out of the game that you're playing. You're playing this shit, it's old, it's dead, whatever, or anything like that, and your chat just goes, Knuckle crack. All right, let's have this one, and then you chat going on him. I love seeing that shit.
Well,
So
that's the thing. When we're streaming or when I'm streaming and people come in, they best bring their A game if they're going on for the trolls, because you better buckle up, boy, strap yourself in, because it's gonna go down. Like it's gonna be a to and fro. And I guarantee you'll be leaving before I do.
there's what a streamer that I watch does PUBG content called TSM Break, and he regularly stops his streams to say to his mods, just do us a favor, don't ban people straight away, because unless they're being like offensive, like racist comments or things like that, then if they're just absolute melts, he says, I stream 8 hours a day, 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. So even though I'm enjoying my game and I'm enjoying my time in the chat and stuff like that, it is still the same stuff over and over again. So when you do get these weapons that come into the chat, and then seeing my community of people that I spend my day with just ripping them apart before I even get to say anything, he says, don't ban them straight away because I enjoy seeing that shit unfold. So I was like, yeah, that's fucking amazing. Just watching your chat go at someone like get the fuck out. But not even nastily, just taking the piss, united in idiot proofing. That's what it is. That's what you kind of want to see. Yes, baby, it's me throwing snowballs at your window, mate, says Jenkins, because you took your headphones off and looked at your window.
I can hear it. I live on a walk, right? So you have to park cars on either side of the roads. And I heard someone's car go off because it's not outside the house. And I'm like, where's that coming from? And then somebody else's car alarm went off right next to it. So it's like as if one car alarm went off and then somebody else is next to it. But obviously, because I ain't got the RTX on, I didn't know whether or not you could hear that as well.
No, I couldn't hear it. But it was Jenkins. He missed with 2 snowballs, by the way. One hit the first car, one at the second. Sure says, follower / sub on the chat, make people pay for being a knob. See, that's the thing. That's kind of where I was saying, how do you do that as a Sony? As if we were to do that, if we were to get 100,000 people watching our stream, I can imagine that. I mean, follower is good for trolls. So if you get those follower bot shit, want to become famous, buy followers here at followers dot bullshit or whatever. Turning your follow stuff on stops a lot of that straight away. It doesn't stop all of it, but it does stop a lot of it because it's just all automated bots and they're all programmed to work top down. So if you're getting a lot of viewers, you will get more of that stuff. So that does work. The sub only stuff, you kind of, I mean, we'd get away with that, and any of you guys probably would. But for something like Sony, it almost looks like they can't do right for doing wrong. If they try to do that to protect it for everyone else that's been in there, a lot of people will like, I pay for PS Plus, I paid for my console, and I paid for my games, and now I have to pay just to be able to say, well, that's nice, or not. Fuck this shit. So it's always difficult for a business like that, which is, I mean, they'd possibly do it. I don't think they'd be that bothered about the revenue in that balance in terms of, yeah, the money we get from it would be nice, but we'd also get a lot of stick, should I say. So then that's when I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe that's where you kind of to justify the £5 that people have spent to sub, you probably have to make additional content, which then starts to outweigh the money that you actually get from the subs anyway. I mean, if I was doing that, if I was in that position where I was at Sony and I was the decision maker, I would potentially be like, okay, well, this is where we can get PS access to, like the Twitch access kind of thing. All the money that you get from Twitch subs could pay to fund one person or 2 or 3 people, however many, that are your stream team for that channel. They are live all the time. There's a reason for things being sub only. You can build community stuff around it, but it's just a case of, is that small for what the actual PlayStation brand channel? Should one person or 2 people or 3 people represent a brand like PlayStation 24/7-ish on stream? I'm not sure. That's because anyone can say something wrong, anyone can have a personal opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, whether you agree with them or not, and whether they're absolute shitty or not. People are entitled to have that opinion, and this person representing PlayStation will be a person. And when you're on a stream, you are a person. You have your opinions, and they could have an opinion that doesn't toe the company line, and if they share that, then that could create sticks. So yeah, it's a massive slippery slope. I'd like to believe that a brand like PlayStation could do that, push it all out, and have somewhere where people can congregate. There we go. I would say conjugate, but that's something completely different. Congregate. There we go. But yeah, and that's. ideological thinking, not realistical thinking. But anyway, that's a lot of waffle in and around the subject. Let's jump back onto the actual screen so we can see a couple of the other trailers. We'll go down to HUD, Outlaws and Legends. This is the world premiere trailer. I've got some audio. We're not going to go full screen because we don't want to get struck for just content strikes and that. Is that too loud or is that good for you? Let me know what you guys think. So as you can see there, it's a new PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and PC multiplayer PvPvE heist game. If you don't know what that means, by the way, that's you play against other players and you play against AI players in the game.
This couldn't be any more of a baby game if you tried.
We are wraiths. We bypass defenses and strike at the heart.
This absolutely is a baby game. Exclusive to everything, says sure. 100%. That's the one. Oh, I think that guy got the point. I love some snowballing, says Jenkins. That sounds like a euphemism.
We are rivals.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Oh, there we go. This is some actual gameplay stuff now. That looks good. That looks good. Who's it made by? Focus and Sumo. Sumo. I'm guessing Focus is the publisher. Pedestrian. I'm just going to click on that just to get a quick feel of what it is. Do you know what? Without meaning to make this look bad, it looks like something where you kind of need to watch the whole thing to get the proper feel of it, and we don't have that much time, so I'm going to move up or down. I'll click on, get a few seconds of Vader Immortal. We'll skip into it so we can see. I do want to watch this in full. Fucking... I've never played Star Wars VR. I absolutely want to play Star Wars VR because fucking
everything that you want. This
Yeah.
Vader one. I mean, I was excited for it a couple of months back when we saw like a first glimpse, but now seeing it in like full force, it just makes me want to get a PlayStation VR more than ever.
That is badass. Okay, and then we'll have a little bit of Godfall as well because it was obviously the pièce de résistance. Wow, we've had Spanish and French now, as well as Huddersfield and English. Because Huddersfield's different. Tin. Okay, everyone in the chat then, thoughts on Godfall. What are your first impressions? I mean, not on whether it's good. I mean, it could be that, whether you think it's good, whether you think it's bad, what it reminds you of. I want to know what you guys think about this.
Counterplay games. We are very excited to share gameplay with you today and to offer you a glimpse.
Fuck's sake. Sure, the pièce de résistance. I appreciate it.
Please keep in mind that the game is still
GG.
a work in progress, and some things may change from the final product as we continue to learn and harness the power of Sony's next generation.
Does this look next gen to you?
Please enjoy.
That's a question that
Yes.
everyone has been asking about Halo. Does it look next gen? Does this look next gen?
To me, yes, because it's not just about the character models; it's about everything else around it. When I talk about graphics and it being next gen, it's the whole package. Is the textures of the things that are around your character, not just how good your character could look amazing, but if everything around them looks like Play-Doh, then what's the point? So it's everything to do with the environment, the lighting, the textures, the resolution of what you're looking at. The field of view, everything that goes into making a game more realistic or not realistic, because obviously it might not, the art style might not be realistic, but more true to life, shall we say, in
And
that case.
as you were saying that as well, the game gave us a few scenes, like a few like almost atmospheric world shots, not just the hack and slash gameplay. And I think that's the kind of thing. I'll jump back into the scoop screen. Because Tito, the question says, "What is next gen?" I mean, that's the question. That's the question. It's something that everything is being asked for, but nobody really knows.
Yeah, I
Next,
think it's a personal preference.
yeah, next gen. It's a completely subjective thing. Next gen is a snobby, journalistic founded, but then something that the general society runs with. It's a term that just kind of asks you to get a cumulative value of what something is. How is it improved, and what is the definition of how that is improved? Nobody knows. There is no definition of what's next gen. If a game comes out on PS5 and it is a Sega Master System game style quality, but it's on the PS5 and it could actually run on the Master System, it's still next gen. But what makes it next gen is, and it's that thing. It's hugely subjective. I think for me, I always feel next gen is going to be it's going to be based on things like loading times and graphical fidelity, including things like ray tracing. Everything beyond that, you're not going to see players or characters go from Joel in The Last of Us Part 2 to something much, much, much better than that. Because there hasn't been that much of an advancement. So yeah, that was kind of a charged question to see what you guys really feel. Because obviously when you see something like Halo, the rendering distances and things popping in and out, and the textures not being great and stuff like that, that was kind of disappointing for a lot of people, because that's what they expect from next gen. So I just wanted to see what the responses would be in terms of Godfall. But I completely agree with you there, babe. The world around you, not just about your character. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, like a next gen example. Now, this is a super shit example because it may not relate to every single person that's in the chat at the moment. But next gen for me was looking at like the PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 era, having more wrestlers in the ring at the same time was a massive step up, because obviously your PlayStation couldn't program. I think it was more than 4 wrestlers at a time. You moved into the PlayStation 2, there was like 6 to 8 wrestlers. You move into the PlayStation 3, there's like 8 to 12 wrestlers, and you could do tornado tags and stuff like that. So having the evolution and the hardware inside it to make programming speed faster, it can process faster, it can write faster, and give you more of what you want in the ring, and just going above and beyond. That's just one little small example on it. So yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then Klaxon comes in, yeah. That's what I mean. It's like you're looking at like Grand Theft Auto, for example, GTA 5. Obviously, the servers limit you to how many people can go in there in the first place, but you won't see 1 million people all in one place at the same time, because your PC or your console or the system itself can't hold that many people standing in one place. There's just too many characters on your screen. So next gen for me is including more things. Um, that it's just the reading and writing speeds and the processing speed to be able to get more of what you would like into one place at the same time. If I've said that right, it's a difficult thing for me to try and explain, but and in my head, it's easy to be able to know what I want, but trying to put it into words, and I think that's the difficult part of developers having to have a sit down and speak to each other about, right, okay, we need to try and include this, this, and this, put it into words, and then try and program it. Programming isn't an easy thing to be able to do, so trying to meet everyone's needs and desires is a very, very difficult task. And it's no wonder why generations go 7 years without having a new thing being brought in, because it's just, I will never be able to get my head around it ever, because I'm not a developer or a programmer.
I absolutely put it into pristine and perfect words then, but was muted, so it doesn't matter. I won't repeat it. No, what I said then was I followed on Baby's comment about the generation. I meant and his wrestling analogy. The idea that I said was like playing a Royal Rumble and you had 4 people in the ring, unmuted. Yeah, I stuck with the finger up at the screen. It's because Shogun said, Graham is quiet again, don't tell him. I didn't see that, but I saw Jenkins going, Graham is muted. Shogun was like, shh, it's Bliss. Fuck you. But yeah, I was using Royal Rumble as a reference. Royal Rumble on like the PS1, I think it was, or it was the PS2. I can't remember that. All the games are kind of merging. You play a wrestling game and you get one player comes out into the ring, then it waits a minute, and the next player comes down, and it waits a minute, and the next player comes down, and then the next one. But then you got 4 players in the ring, and nobody else comes out then until someone gets eliminated, and then the next one comes down, and then the next gen allowed that to go from 4 to 8 or whatever it was. Obviously, still not 30 players in a Royal Rumble, so not fully realistic, but there are still limitations. And next gen stuff allows for that stuff to tick off and change it over. The difference with that is having an arena fighter, like a wrestling game like that, versus open world stuff. The difference is in open world. There's only so much that you can do, because like if you like everything gets upscaled. Okay, well the whole world needs to be upscaled. When it comes to arena fighter, then it's like how many mechanics can you have going at once, and that's all of the gameplay. You can get rid of a lot of the visual fidelity of the arena, and people don't really care about it because you're looking at this one square in the middle with ropes around it and players in the middle of it fighting. If you get graphical upgrades, PCU upgrades or whatever, and you can have more people in there, job's good, and that's an instant tangible increase. Open worldy stuff, making the world render further and at better quality and faster, that's harder to keep your finger on. So that's the shit thing, is like, where does it look next gen? Does it feel next gen? Well, actually, it is massively next gen, but a lot of it you probably can't see right now. The fact that you don't notice that you're seeing it is the next gen bit. The fact that it's already there. How many times have you played like GTA 4 or whatever, or 3, or I can't remember which ones, and you'd be flying along in your, not GTA 5 though, actually maybe in GTA 5, but you'd be flying along in your fucking car, absolutely 100 mile an hour. It was San Andreas actually where I remember it the most, and you just, the buildings stop popping in because you're going so fast down this like main road, and eventually like you clash into something, and then everything just kind of goes and pops up from the ground up, like the world's just been spawned around you because you've gone too fast. The fact that that doesn't happen is next gen, and you're already living in it, but a lot of people don't see it, kind of thing in that sort of way. Tio says that for me is a good point. Many games are limited. The Division 2, for example, is accused of being bullet spongy because they can't render enough enemy NPCs, that they have to increase a smaller number of spawns with huge health pools to be difficult. Video games has always kind of been that. Silent Hill exists in the way it does because it was hindered. They didn't have the ability to spawn, like to do all of the world around you. So the reason there's fog in Silent Hill is that gives the developers a way to hide the world. Silent Hill's fog is what makes that game, but that was there to disguise the fact that everything didn't look as good as it should have done, or they wanted it to look. Metal Gear Solid, the fact that you have to play stealthy and avoid your enemies, that exists because on the original Metal Gears, Kojima knew that there wasn't the processing power to make fights and bullets and stuff go flying across the screen at all times, so they reduced the number of enemies, but made it so that you had to keep out of the way of them. So all of that stuff, like Bibby mentions it all the time. Resident Evil doors, you walk up to a door and you get a door that opens. That's to slow things down and give you the ability to go through and give the game the time to go, shit, let's get everything else in place. So when they open the door, it's like we can't see. I mean, I love the idea of that because from a visual standpoint, not that it actually looks like this, because there's not actual little things inside the computers that are running around doing stuff. But imagine that, like fucking little computer processor, but it's building up a world. But fuck, the door's opening. Fuck. As soon as the door opens, like, hey, yeah, it's always looked like this. I don't know what you mean. Yes. So yeah, I mean that's essentially what it is. Video games is that, and it's all smoke and mirrors. It's allowing people to see what you want them to see, and if you can't, how can you distract them long enough? And next gen is trying to get rid of that. That's an actual problem. I think we covered it in a news article a while ago. In next gen, the problem isn't how can you get everyone the information. It's how can you get by yourself the time now, because developers usually have to like work in the doors that open and things like that so that they can get stuff in place. Now they don't have that. Now you're not having players sat still. So like loading screens where you get like a make sure you press X to jump because it's useful and stuff like that. Those little tips and stuff. None of those bits are going to be in games. Maybe in this gen we might still have it, but next gen after, loading screens aren't going to exist. So those little ways of giving lore or giving extracurricular information kind of stuff, there's no ways of doing that. So now developers have to think about how they do that sort of stuff without making you sit looking at a loading screen or a starting screen or a splash screen or whatever. generations used to be processor speeds and bit rates, i.e. 8, 16, 32, 64. Yeah, and now we've got bajillion. People will know 7 Days to Die shows exactly how hard it is to render a lot of things at once and maintain performance.
Yeah, so things just look like Play-Doh when you turn up to them, and then the event, like you, from your standpoint, like
PUBG.
PUBG, when you first drop in and everything's just a shell, and then 2 seconds later, a building will just render in front of you, so you can see all the weapons that are on the floor in front of you in PUBG, but you can't see the wall that's stopping you from getting to the weapons. It's the same with like 7 Days to Die. I mean, I haven't played 7 Days to Die in about 18 months now. I kind of got a bit tired with it. I had fatigue, very much like what DayZ was like with me. I just couldn't be asked because it didn't play the way that I wanted it to, and there was better versions of those games out there. But yeah, I agree. It's very difficult to be able to, especially when you've got a small team working on it, have everything that you would want with the limited hardware that you've got to work with. So that for me is what next gen is. It's improving on what we've already got, but to a degree where everybody wins with everything that you put in front of them. Again, the wrestling analogy, or having things rendered faster, or moving away from loading screen doors for 3 seconds every single time you want to go through one. That for me is what next gen looks like to me. Somebody else's is going to be completely different. Tidal's will be different. Shaw's will be different. Yours will be different. Jenkins will be different. Chappers will be different. Everyone has a different idea of what they want from a game, and that is why we all love games. We all have different tastes.
See, the way I'd simplify it, and it's probably too simplified, is I see the next generation is being able to continue gaming, but with less frustration. And that frustration could be loading screens. That could be things popping in. That could be things not rendering for ages. And all next generation is you whether you are aware of them or you're not aware of them, or you keep track of them or not, you basically play a video game and you have an enjoyment which is blocked by frustrations. And I just see every step in the next generation as more of those frustrations are taken away. You probably get different ones put in, but I think that's what I see as next generation. Next generation is frustrations taken away so that you can just have core enjoyment of games. Obviously, that's not factoring whether the game's good or anything like that. It's just from a technical standpoint. But anyway, let's put a pin in that because we're over an hour in already. We still have 2 stories that we're going to fly through. Good morning, chappers. Hey, I'm similar to you, Baby, to fair, mostly from the perspective of things taking ages to load. I.e. GTA 5 can actually just boot up before I've aged 3 years every time. Oh, that is frustrating, though, to be fair. I don't play GTA 5 often. And the last time I loaded it up was when Bibby was playing custom games on stream ages ago. I reinstalled it on my PS4 and loaded into it. And it was just like, yeah, there we go. The game's in. It's taken a while to get onto the screen, but go online.
It just were 10 minutes later.
Yeah, no, it's like you sat there with your beard. It's like full on, like skip to like, and you say big grey beard, just like withered and decayed. No, I don't even have thumbs anymore. My thumbs have actually disintegrated. How am I going to play it? It's going to smash my stubs into the controller. But anyway, for those of you that didn't catch, we went through everything that was revealed in PlayStation State of Play Showcase. There was 16 games announced last night, including Crash Bandicoot, Hitman, Spelunky, Control, a lot of other things, Temtem, and ended with Godfall. Temtem is coming to PS5, yeah, so we will potentially be playing that on PS5 in 2021. But let's move ahead from PlayStation to a different first party. There we go. Nintendo reports huge profits as Animal Crossing clears 20 million. So the platform holder's profit spiked 500%. Thanks to the Switch exclusive and strong digital sales, written by Andy Robinson for VGC. The article goes on to say, Nintendo has reported significant year-on-year growth and confirmed that Animal Crossing New Horizons has cleared 20 million copies, which is huge. In its results for the first 3 months ending June 30th, the company's net sales, which was $3.4 billion, doubled year-on-year at 108%. Operating income has increased by a significant 427%, and net profit increased by a huge 540%. Nintendo Switch hardware cleared 5.5 million units for the quarter, 2.6 of which were the light version, which represents a year-on-year sales increase of more than 160%. To date, 61.45 million Nintendo Switch consoles have been sold. In software, Animal Crossing New Horizons was by far the company's best-performing title, selling 10.63 million copies during the quarter and 22.4 million units to date. This is already nearly double the lifetime cumulative sales of 12 million for Animal Crossing New Leaf, which was the previous best-selling entry in the series. The figure means that after little over 3 months on sale, Animal Crossing is the second highest-selling Nintendo Switch title to date, behind Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which has got 26.74 million, which in itself continues to show sales momentum with a further 1.97 million copies sold during Q1. Key to mention there as well that Mario Kart gets bundled with the consoles, so anyone that buys a new Switch gets a new sale for Mario Kart. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is on 26.7 million sales, but that figure is a bit skewed. So Nintendo claimed there was a high ratio of digital sales for New Horizons in multiple regions, averaging around 50% in Japan, the US, and Europe. Overall, digital sales accounted for 55.6% of total software sales and grew 229.9% year on year. Other top sellers included Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Ring Fit Adventure, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. In total, software sales grew 123% year on year to 50.4 million units, Nintendo said. In mobile, income grew by, do you know what, let's stop there. Everything grew lots digitally. Yeah. Nintendo absolutely smashed the shit out of it, including Animal Crossing passing 20 million copies. That is huge. I mean, what I think, was it like, I could be way off with my numbers, but like, I know big PlayStation first party titles that we celebrate often get to about 13 million, in that sort of 13 to 15 million sort of region. Some may have gone well beyond that. And you always kind of think, oh, The Last of Us and the Uncharted's and things like that, and Horizons and so on. They get lauded as being better than Nintendo games, or bigger and more successful in essence. Nintendo's just that family thing that you do on the side. And not always, I know I'm being very, very generalizing here, but New Horizons, Animal Crossing New Horizons, passing 20 million copies sold. That's double some of those figures, if the case. I mean, let's see if I can find those figures at hand. But what are your thoughts, babe?
Well, it didn't seem that long ago, back in January, that we thought that we wasn't going to see much from Nintendo this year. Look where we've ended up. We've had a couple of new games, shall we say, throughout the year, and Animal Crossing being the biggest one that has been the forefront and the charge through the charts with the amount of money that's been made for Animal Crossing is. I didn't think that, this is me, never played an Animal Crossing game before in my life. I didn't think it was as big as it was. It's took me by surprise, again, because I've never played one before. So it's interesting to see how much money. It's blown my mind, if I'm being honest. There's people who play Animal Crossing that I didn't think would have been Animal Crossing players. There's been Gary Whitta, for example, has created an entire talk show around Animal Crossing
and had some absolute celebs.
Yeah, and had some of the world's biggest. He had Sting on, just sat there in the corner playing the drums in between segments. Do you know what I mean? Like it was a proper talk show. So it's blown my mind, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we thought it was going to be a quiet year for Nintendo, and they've done everything but put the brakes on.
Well, let's look at numbers then. This is just Wikipedia, so this could be wrong, could be out of date, whatever. Animal Crossing New Horizons, a first-party game from Nintendo for the Switch, has just passed 20 million copies. God of War, a first-party massive game. Posture check. Okay, I'll say. Sorry, mate. God of War, first-party game for PlayStation, in contender for Game of the Year. It may have won it. I can't remember if it actually did or not. Horizon Zero Dawn, first-party massive game for PlayStation, in contender for Game of the Year. And in those same sort of conversations as well, Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, first-party game, in contender for Game of the Year. You add any two of those together, and Animal Crossing has sold pretty much the same. Spider-Man, maybe not so much, because Spider-Man has 13.2 million sales, whereas God of War, The Last of Us Remastered, obviously, that didn't count that because that was remastered rather than the original, but God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn both have sold 10 million. So add those two together, and you still haven't sold as many copies as Animal Crossing New Horizons has, which is mind-blowing. God of War was massive. Horizon Zero Dawn was massive. And add them together and you still don't have Animal Crossing New Horizons sales. Baffling. I mean, we have a copy of Animal Crossing New Horizons in this house, so we are one of those numbers, but we just don't play it because it's not for us. But yeah, there you go. The thing about Animal Crossing is the community isn't just like gamers; it's people who like to relax, which is basically everyone. So it's like the reach is astronomical, and they've clearly hit the ball at the park with this one because people are going mad for it. I've not got a Switch, and I'm not really into the Nintendo community, and even I see at least 30 posts about New Horizons on Twitter every day. Same. I'm selling my turnips. My price is this, and I'm thinking that just sounds like Euphemism City. I'm keeping away from that. So yeah, I mean, it is. It's Candy Crush isn't a game for gamers. Candy Crush is what your nan plays on Facebook, kind of thing. It's that
Farmville.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I put it in. I put it with the Farmville stuff. What a rookie mistake.
And it's
It was massive.
a very elite statement that I've just said then, which is shit. It's not a game for gamers. I mean, it is a game for gamers. Anything that has any sort of gamification is a game. So shut up, Graham. But I mean, stereotypically, it's not a gamer's game. It's a process game. But that could still be a game. It's a game. But yeah. So yeah, it does. It absolutely smashes an audience that transcends hardcore or just core gaming. So yeah, absolutely nailed it. Anyway, let's move on quickly because we want to get off and on so we can get set for Bibby's final PGA Tour 2K21 stream, which is going to be on the front page of Twitch, or should be. We hope it is. So, yep, final bit of news. And this is one for anyone that has a PC. A nice little bit of something to finish on. Written by Tom Ivan for VGC. The Epic Games Store's next free games have been revealed. The Alto Collection and Remnant from the Ashes. So the Alto Collection and Remnant from the Ashes will be next week's free Epic Games Store titles. They'll replace current free games Wilmot's Warehouse, which is normally at 11:39, on August 13th at 4 p.m. BST. The Alto Collection, which includes Endless Snowboarder, Alto's Adventure, and its Endless Sandboarding sequel, Alto's Odyssey, is developed by Team Alto and published by Snowman. It will release on the PS4 and Xbox One on August 13th, with the Switch version set to follow soon. Remnant from the Ashes is a post-apocalyptic survival shooter from developer Gunfire Games and publisher Perfect World Entertainment. It originally released in August 2019, and the PC version has a Metascore of 78 on review aggregation site Metacritic based on 42 reviews. The Epic Games Store's free games promotion, which launched alongside the storefront in 2018, will run throughout 2020. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney recently claimed it caused sales to increase for developers who participate in the scheme. The Epic Games Store summer sale, which features savings of up to 75% on selected titles, ends today. So if you have a PC and you have the Epic Games Store, get Alto Collection and Remnant from the Ashes for free next week on the store, and make sure you get Wilmot's Warehouse free this week on the store. There you go. There you go. One thing we didn't cover on today's news, and that was mainly because it's still pretty much a developing story, is that the doc is back. You may have seen it on YouTube last night. The doc was streaming on YouTube. He had a live stream on Instagram, on Instagram Live. He's back today, 12 p.m. PS2, aka 8 p.m. tonight in the UK. On YouTube, he's streaming on YouTube. No confirmation of whether that's his official exclusive home or whether he's just doing that on his own back. Rod Breslau, aka Slasher, was chatting some stuff about it's unofficial. It's just the doc on YouTube, nothing exclusive or anything like that. Doc had some shots at Slasher as well. For anyone that may have heard it, there was basically the whole stream was like an hour and a half of just a car parked at a garage, and then it was like radio stuff, music playing over the car radio that would then have some little bits of news from the broadcast, and it was basically the doc like adding little bits of context to what's happening. And the doc's like, one of the comments was something along the lines of I can't remember the name of the radio station. We'll just say Sunshine Radio. It wasn't that. But here at Sunshine Radio, we've got confirmation from our sources that Doc is going to be back with a live stream tomorrow or something like that. And then, I can't remember the exact wording of that bit, but it went into then say, and here at Sunshine Radio, we can report that our sources are actually legit, which is basically taking a swipe at Slasher because his sources about what's happening, this, that, and the other, Doc's just basically throwing one at him. Anyway, we don't have all the information on that, but we will cover that next week because by the time the next show comes along, the Doc will have live streamed and we'll know what's happening a little bit more. So come back on Monday for that. Anyway, we are going to disappear. I'm going to jump off, come straight back on again so Bib can get full on into the swing of things. He will be putting on a show. I mean, he's new to this. Actually, no, he's not new to this. He's not green or anything. Okay. Sorry, I just had a bunker full of puns. No, I'm not. Do you know what I'm genuinely going to do? I'm going to do. It's getting warm now. I need to take off this tea. Okay, I apologize. Anyway, we are going to disappear just because Bibby looks like that. We are going to disappear. Bibby will be back very, 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 very soon, so don't leave the channel. Just keep us on in the background. We'll go offline and come back on with PGA Tour 2K 2021. So yeah, make sure you stick around for that. Bit of housekeeping. We do have a new brand partner, as you can see in the fridge behind me. All of the stuff, Muscle Moose, exclamation mark Muscle Moose will get you 25% off. Use it in chat, exclamation mark Muscle Moose. Do it now, and you get the link and the code to get 25% off if you want to make any purchases. Once again, we don't make money on that. All of the savings get passed on to you. So enjoy. If you want to buy it, if you don't, it's fine. Exclamation mark giveaway if you want to win yourself a console. But before we do disappear, babe. Captain Golf, the man with the swing. I mean, the man that shows, what was he called? Brian de Champagne, whatever you said he was named. The man who shows him how to properly hit it. Anything you want to add?
Yes, as always, if you do see any video game news knocking around the social media or platform of your choice, hold on to them because we'll be back on Monday. But all you need to do to get in contact with us is just find us on social media. We're across all major social media platforms at Ice Cream Uploads across everything. We also have a Discord as well that you are welcome to join. If you are a subscriber, it is in your best interest to get involved in there. Link your Twitch to your Discord, join our Discord server, and there is a very, very, very high chance at this moment in time that you could be the winner of one of our loot drop prizes.
And for that, exclamation mark, loot drop. There you go. Dates of when the loot drop will actually be dropped are still to be announced, but check that tweet out. That will show you our sexy little graphic that we've put together just to show that we're going to be giving stuff away. Yeah. But anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So from me, have yourselves a fantastic day. I will be done for the day. No Masters of the League, just PGA. So Bibby will be back soon. But for me, have a good day and remember, stay frosty.
Stay frosty!